Everyone, this is Babamots. Welcome to another Homeworlds game commentary. This time I'm looking at a game between John Cooper and RichPee. It says that this is RichPee's first game, but I know it's not actually their first game because I looked at their game history and they'd played John before. And I think they may just have been playing in friendly mode, and so I think when you play in friendly mode it doesn't actually record that you've played a game before, and so you keep getting the this is my first game message. But anyway, John Cooper is the inventor of Homeworlds, and Rich is a friend of John's, and Rich, I believe, has not played very much Homeworlds, and John, while a brilliant guy generally, doesn't have a whole lot of success in Homeworlds games, which John posted today as much. This game was played back in March 2023. I happen to be casting this on the day that John made a post on Facebook about being bad at Homeworlds. John isn't bad at Homeworlds. John just plays Andy Looney most of the time, and Andy Looney is really, really good. So if John has a bad record, I think that's most of the reason. Anyway, let's see how they fare together. John takes a green-starred banker with yellow ship. Rich takes a more traditional yellow Goldilocks. Both players can just build their own original ship color a couple of times, and since both of the large, well, so both players have small stars in the other player's color, so they run out of smalls in their own color at the same time. John spreads out, Rich spreads out. Rich, by taking a yellow star, is accelerating the yellow economy that might benefit John in a minute here. John gets a Y2, Rich gets a G2. Yeah, they're going to want to trade for... Well, John especially, I think, needs to trade for green at some point. Well, maybe getting locked out of yellow feels more devastating at the moment, I suppose. Rich trades for blue. John keeps building yellow. Plenty of large yellows in the bank here. Rich, oh, yeah, I think we're seeing some beginner behavior here where Rich traded for blue on their previous turn and then traded the same ship to red. I do think red is the better call here, because otherwise John can come in and start building in Rich's home and John can get a yellow catastrophe pretty easily. John spreads out the yellows some more, maybe. Oh, sorry. John considers building a fourth yellow in that colony. I don't think that's such a good idea. Yeah, spreading out the yellows is probably better. Rich really needed to get yellow before John took them all. I think John's gonna do a shopping spree. No, interesting. Giving up their ironclad yellow lead to get a red ship. I mean, it's been making me nervous that John doesn't have any red in their homeworld, but Rich doesn't have any yellow ships and hasn't been advancing these ones out of bleb, so John didn't really need to worry just yet. This gives Rich a chance. They could trade for this little yellow and then safely get it to another system and maybe even build one of these large yellows. But they'd better trade right away. Moving to a blue isn't going to help Rich to move into John's home or do much of anything, actually. Except they can trade it for something later. Well, I mean, I guess it could be considered an investment, but there's so much smaller blue in the bank that I don't think it'll ever reach that point. And John finally gets the shopping spree on. I think that was a good choice, actually. Yeah, John can safely put a third green in their home because Rich doesn't have any yellow. Rich, again, I think needs to take that yellow right now. Putting in a... So they advance the green. This is... Well... I'm trying to think how this choice stacks up against John wanting to clean out the yellow bank. It puts a yellow back in the bank, which will slow John down a little bit. But it still doesn't give Rich more mobility, which is what Rich really needs. Okay, so John, again at the shopping spree. Yeah, their mothership is now in a colony, but that can be remedied pretty quickly. Rich only has one large ship that they could trade for yellow, and it would get overpopulated immediately if they did. I mean, I suppose Rich could build G3 here in this colony, hoping to trade it for yellow in a moment, but John, of course, can just sacrifice a little yellow to move a green into that colony over and overpopulate. Rich, ooh, yeah, I mean, Rich, I'm sorry, but you're much too late to be trading to yellow. The army is already on your doorstep, and you're going to lose that ship. There it goes. I thought maybe John was going to play nice, because I believe he and Rich are friends, but he blasted him first chance he got. Alright. Let's see if Rich comes up with anything. They do get another yellow, but John invades. Rich doesn't have a mothership, so John can just come in with a medium even. Rich can build more red. That's okay, so that's a decent defense here. It will delay John by at least a turn, since now if John sacrifices red to capture one of those reds, Rich can just capture it back. So John is going to have to bring some more firepower. I think John's going to build an R2. Yep. And Rich builds an R2 as well, maybe. Rich builds a Y1. I don't think that helps the defense at all. And now John can take both reds at once. Rich can build a green, but it's pretty hopeless. John can take... Oh, yeah, just build another green and overpopulate the last of Rich's ships. Okay, well. I think we didn't get a chance to see players playing to their full potential here, but I may upload this anyway because John needs to see games where he wins. So congratulations, John, on a fine win. Thank you for inventing my absolute favorite game of all time, to which I've obviously devoted a whole lot of time and effort. I make a lot of videos. And thanks to everybody else for watching. That's all for now.